So is it true that 1 is equal to 0.99999 repeating? Let's show that this is actually true. Let x equal 0.999 repeating. And we want to show that x also equals 1. Because if x equals 1 and x also equals 0.999 repeating, that means 1 equals 0.999 repeating. Now, if we start with x equals 0.999 repeating, and I multiply both sides by 10, on the left side, we're going to get 10x. And on the right side, we're going to get 9.9999. Because when you multiply by 10, all you're doing is moving the decimal over by one spot. But these 9s will still repeat forever and ever. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to subtract both sides by x. On this side, the left-hand side, we're going to get 9x. On this side, we're going to get 9.9999 repeating minus 0.999 repeating. Every 9 past the decimal will cancel out with every 9 past the decimal on the second term. Thus, 9x equals 9. Lastly, we divide by 9 on both sides, and what we get is that x equals 1. But wait a minute. We started with x equaling 0.9999. Repeating. Therefore, because x equals 0.999 repeating and x equals 1, this shows that 1 is equal to 0.999 repeating. Now, you would obviously, if you went to elementary school, you would probably say no. But here's a proof that 1 actually does equal 2. Let's start with a equaling b. And I multiply both sides by a. What this gives me on one side is a squared. And on the other side, it gives ab. Now, as we move, if I subtract both sides by b squared, what we're going to get is a squared minus b squared on this side is equal to ab minus b squared. Recall the difference of squares formula is a squared minus b squared equals a plus b times a minus b. So if we sub that in for here, we're going to get a plus b times a minus b is equal to ab minus b squared. And on this side, we have a b in both terms, so we can factor out a b. This will give us b a minus b. Now we're almost done, but we can divide both sides by a minus b. Thus, it'll cancel out on the right-hand side and the left-hand side, giving us a plus b is equal to b. Now we know that a equals b given our assumption at the beginning. Thus, a equaling b means that we have b plus b all equals b. Thus, 2b will equal b. And if you divide by b on both sides, what you're going to get is that 2 is equal to 1. Therefore, it is true that 1 equals 2. So that means that we have 2 equals 1 and 1 equals 0.999. Repeating, that means that 2 equals 0.99 repeating. So I ask you guys, what happened? What allowed 2 equal to 1?